Hi everybody. So I am Marianne Visser from Journey to Your Best, and I'm doing part 4 of my series on mom stages and your roles as a mom and how they change with the stages that your children are in. So each one is quite a bit different, and today we're talking about teenagers. So we've gone through 3 stages so far, or no, 2 stages so far, so this is the third one. And yeah, so teenagers, so you think that in the teenage years it's like it's all pulling your hair out, and it doesn't have to be. So you can, there's tips that I can give you that can help you out, although I am not perfect at this, at any of the stages that I've been through. But it does help a little bit in some of the times that we deal with teenagers. Now I have 3 teenagers in the house. So I'm right knee deep into this stage. So this is a stage that's hard for moms a lot of times because now we're giving up a little bit of the control that we've had in the past stages. We're having to give them some of the control, and that's hard for. There's some moms that even have to go and talk to people about it because it's really hard when you've had so much control over a being, and now they're going to have to start decisions on their own. So some of the tips that I have for you when you're in this, and I apologize, my connection is kind of so big, that is why, but I'm going to try to continue. So some of my tips on this stage is what to adapt to give your kids, your teenagers, to tips and guidelines to and you get through this stage. So we want to promote the kids to have connections that are outside of your home. We're getting them and ready for the next stage in their life, which will be when they're out of your house. Now I know it seems like it's like it seems like that's not going to be too, or that's far off, but you need to start teaching them right. So you need to promote those connections outside the home while you're still there. They get used to making those so that if they go off to college, which I have mentioned before that they've gone off to college or they're going off to college, they know how to make those connections once they're out. They're doing with your guidance. That's why I call the teenager stage the partner stage, because you're partnering with them to help them to do it for themselves. So you have to spend a lot of time in this stage being calm and reassuring about their abilities, because being a teenager is tough, especially nowadays. They are seeing things that we've never seen. They're seeing more things because of they see things so quickly on the internet and with their phones and whatnot. It's tough. They're getting so much information. So be calm, be reassuring to them that they have to make decisions on their own. Promote that independence that they desire, that they need, and they will need to succeed. So being a helicopter parent at this point, probably not the best idea, and I know that it does depend on your kid when you give up that and when you give them and how much independence. But before they're moving out of the house, they should be independent where you can still kind of watch and guide them. So and you got to know that you're not going to know all the details of their life. And they're not going to be telling you things. You may have one, but you're not going to know the day-to-day, like every little thing anymore, because they need to keep that. They need to own that. And I have somebody here saying the connection keeps freezing out. It will. No, the connection's not that great once the video comes up. So if you want to watch it, the recording, it will come up. Thank you, Catherine, for that. So, so the biggest thing is offering your guidance. They will need your ear, when they go through something, to kind of throw it off you, and then give them choices. Don't just give them the whole answer. Give them choices and say, if you do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. And let them make the decision, because you're teaching how to problem solve and how to do it for themselves, but kind of with your guidance. Now, I asked my son today, I said, so what is as a teenager, or as you as a teenager, it's my role been. So I haven't been doing this all that great because he said, oh, you do everything for me. So yeah, so I should have maybe given him more independence, but him going away for college, I do that he is ready for that, although he might not feel that. Again, encourage them to get from outside systems. So if you're going off to college, make sure you're talking to guidance if you need it, or who you can turn to. They need to know that they have other people that they can go to when they're not with you. So maybe at school, that one teacher, or if it's at a co-op, who they can talk to, having a best friend, who they have that's their support system. I'm not saying that you are not their support system anymore, because you are you are support system, but they need more than that as they go into adulthood. So trust their decisions. Although we might not agree with them, they're theirs to make for a lot of decisions that they're making. Now, the big ones, you still have to make some of those decisions and set boundaries on their decisions. But let them make it, and then give them space, but with structure. So now my kids don't really go out too much where I have to worry about restricting the time that they're out, because normally I'm driving, because we live in the country, so it's a little bit different for me. But set the guidelines, have them follow it, and things that I do with my kids, like as soon as they're in high school, I allow them to decide when they're going to bed. Now, it might be simple, but if they're going to stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning and they're going to be tired the next day, there's natural consequences. They're going to start not feeling that great. So when they come to me and say, I don't feel, and I'm like, well, what time did you go to bed? I point out the natural consequences of their decision. I don't change their decision. I just point out the natural consequences of what they've decided, and say, might want to make a different decision tomorrow. Let me see. So, and increase their responsibilities as they get older and they're able to, or push them to do more. So, summer jobs, after school jobs. For my kids, I created a business for them. My girls, I created a jewelry business for them, and it taught them a little bit about talking to people and interacting, and what it's like to have a job before they actually have a job. And it's been awesome, the connection that they've, what they've learned from that. So I was able to do that, and I'm going to do it with my son. He's going to have a lemonade stand, and not just one of those kid ones. He's got the press and everything. Summer, that's going to start happening. But it's to promote them to start having something of their own and something that they can make decisions on. So hopefully these tips help you. And it wasn't too choppy because of my internet, but yeah, I will be writing out a blog, so all of these tips will be in the blog. So if you're seeing this in the blog, read down below. I may add a few more. So the last stage that I'll be talking about tomorrow is the caregiver reversal, and that is where your children have grown up enough that they can look after you because you need care. And hopefully that's not too soon, but it is, the friend stage. Sorry, I missed the friend stage. The next stage is the friend stage, 20 to beyond, and that is a stage that I'm looking for.